Article 133 punishes with 2 months jail time anyone who, in a place devoted to religious worship, whether or not a religious event is taking place, or during the celebration of any religious ceremony, such as launching a free Bible campaign, shall perform acts notoriously, note, notoriously offensive to the feelings of the faithful. To my surprise, tour guide and raconteur Carlos Celdran was convicted of Article 133 for stepping into a place devoted to religious worship, the Manila Cathedral, and worse, while a religious ceremony was taking place, by wearing a Charlie Chaplin suit and holding up a placard with a single word, the name Damaso. Church officials pointed him to the door and he left, escorted by a security guard. Note that Carlos did not urinate in the chalice, nor did he stomp on a Bible, although that is allowed, because unlike the Quran, which must never touch the ground, according to Homeland, the Bible can be, as it usually is, thrown around. It is even in hotel rooms where the faithful are unfaithful. Guilty or not? The correct verdict is not guilty. Even if Carlos committed all but one element of the crime, the element he missed was crucial to a proper conviction. He did not notoriously offend the feelings of the faithful. Of the 4 witnesses called by the prosecution to testify, none said that they were instantly outraged by Carlos's stunt, but rather puzzled. One witness thought he was extolling Damaso, the secretary of St. Jerome, who translated the Bible into Latin, and this was a Bible event. It is not impossible that when Carlos raised his placard, not a few of the faithful said, Amen. And not a few may have thought it was time to canonize St. Jerome's secretary, because in those days, way before Apple and Word program, it was impossible to translate the Bible without an encoder. I mean, those are a hell of a lot of words. Indeed, so vacuous was Celdran's stunt that the witnesses for the prosecution did not include the complainant, whose feelings were allegedly notoriously offended. Yet he never explained how. He never once appeared in court. He was a certain Bishop Serbo, who wasn't even present when Carlos pulled the stunt. Serbo was never called to testify, either by the prosecution and worse yet, by Carlos's incompetent defense counsel, who should have moved for dismissal for the bishop's lack of interest. On top of which, since Serbo was not at the cathedral to witness the stunt, the offense to his feelings was inflicted not by Carlos, but by 2 newspapers that tastelessly put the photo of his stunt on their front pages. Their publishers should have been charged along with Carlos. The other complainant was the private prosecutor that Serbo never hired because he never paid him. Serbo was neither an accused nor an indigent, so he was not entitled to a court-appointed attorney. Tomorrow, witness reactions to the conviction. Keep well.